So, Pia, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. I always thought I'd go into real estate if things didn't pan out for me in academia, but good to know that I have options. So it's my pleasure to MC this portion of our gathering. Um, Before we open the Zoom stage, I thought to just say a few words about the idea behind this next activity. Because in these early days of the coalition, we don't yet have defined goals or implementation strategies. The task ahead of us is really to engage all of our members to collectively create a plan for radical change. And so to this end, we've been hosting gatherings like this one today to get to know our members and really to explore with them what reimagining dementia means to them and what they wish to achieve with the coalition. And so given that we're so committed to creativity and to inclusivity, of course, we've been using the arts to bring us together and to support our members to contribute their interests and their passions and their goals. And so one example of how we're doing this is an activity that we've called 1 minute show and tell. It is 1 minute. And it involves sharing who you are, what you might already be doing to reimagine dementia, or what you hope to do to reimagine dementia. It certainly doesn't have to be a creative performance. It could just be a description, and that's just fine. But it could be a poem, it could be a skit, it could be a song. I mean, really anything that you want it to be that will help you to convey what's important to you and what your hopes are for a more just society. And of course, importantly, we'd like you to try to keep it to 1 minute. Now, following each of the 1 minute sharings, I'm going to invite you all to put in the chat bar a word or a short phrase that captures your reactions, your appreciations, or what inspires you about what you hear and what you see in each of these performances. These words or phrases are going to be used to generate a word cloud that we're going to share with you afterwards. And the more comments that we have, the larger the word cloud will be. So I really encourage you all to use that chat bar to share your thoughts and your reactions and your appreciations. As a reminder, we are recording today's performances. So do let us know if you do not wish for us to share your performance on social media. Now, my mention of social media is actually a perfect segue to our first performance. And this is because Phyllis Fair has become an overnight social media sensation when a video of her rapping with her grandson for dementia awareness went viral. So we're going to share with you that video. It does start off a bit soft, but the volume does pick up. So please don't think that there's any problem with the volume on your end. So Des, if you want to take it away and then stop it at 126. Thanks.
What is it about dementia? Do you remember it?
JJ, what's that song? It sounds familiar.
We wrote it about dementia. Do you remember it?
Maybe. Can you sing it for me?
I can sing it for you. Do you want to sing it with me, maybe?
I can try.
Okay, let's see how you do.
Hey there, I'm Phyllis Fair. I'm doing all of this because I care.
When it comes to dementia and you don't have a clue, just ask her a question and she'll tell you the truth. Dementia gets her motivated, she's captivated. That's why they get her advocating, keeping people educated.
Hey there, I'm Phyllis Fair.
Hey there, Phyllis cares. Spends all her time writing guides at DAI, cause where she sets her sights is researching human rights. Let's work together at making the world better. For people with dementia, you could be a trendsetter. Our views, our voices, value our choices. Before I conclude this, I want you to do this. Make sure people living with dementia are valued and included.
Hey there, I'm Phyllis Fair.
Hey there, Phyllis cares.
Hey there, I'm Phyllis Fair.
And hey there, Cares.
You know, JJ, I do remember some of that song. I love it.
You love it? I'm
Yeah.
glad you love it.
Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate everything you do for me. It's, it means so much to me.
No problem. I'm glad you, because it's our song, right? I love
Yeah,
it.
I love you.
I love you.
So,
Thank you. Thanks, Phyllis. What a fabulous performance. So as a reminder, please just put a word, a phrase that captures any reactions of yours to this, or your appreciations, or maybe what inspires you about Phyllis's performance. Okay, so moving along, I would like to now introduce Mike. Mike, are you able to share that beautiful story and what you wrote?
Sure. Yes, I can.
That would be great.
This is a story from Chicken Soup for the Soul, Living with Alzheimer's and Other Dementias. The title is called It's a Wonderful Life in Alzheimer's. My favorite movie has always been It's a Wonderful Life. I love that George Bailey gets to see the impact he's had on so many people. I was around 10 or 12 years old when I first saw the movie. The story has always been a reminder that doing something good for others because you care and not expecting anything in return is one of life's greatest rewards. This past July, at 52 years old, I was diagnosed with younger onset Alzheimer's. It occurred to me that one of the things Alzheimer's does to a person is rob him of his memories, which is sort of what happens to George Bailey when he went through. He got to see firsthand how no one recognized him. They knew nothing of his life. He had no friends, and worse, he had no family. This is kind of what's going to happen to me. Only, of course, I will be the one not remembering anything. I know there are people who have a much worse lot in life. I only write this so that someone may relate to my perception of the disease. Imagine never having been born, thinking of having all your memories taken away from you. I would not wish that on anyone. I still want to be the person I was before I received the diagnosis, a George Bailey kind of person. So I've decided to be an advocate for dementia awareness, specifically for younger onset Alzheimer's. I'm hoping to help get the word out that this disease does not only affect the elderly as many people think. There are more than 200,000 people in the United States younger than the age 65 affected by the disease. I know I am the luckiest guy in the world. I have found my one true love early in life, and we have been married for 32 years. We have an incredible family, two beautiful from the inside out daughters who are married to two wonderful men, and a strong, caring, determined 16-year-old son who couldn't make a man more proud. And we have three gorgeous grandchildren. So just like George Bailey, I know I've had a wonderful life and will continue to make as many wonderful memories as I can. And I will try to remember, as Clarence said in the movie, no man is a failure who has friends. I actually wrote that 7 years ago. We now have 6 grandchildren, and this April will be 40 years we've been married. And my diagnosis was actually changed to Lewy body dementia with Parkinsonism 3 years after my initial diagnosis. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And I'm loving all this activity in the chat bar. This is really fantastic. So we're going to move on to Leah Miller is next. So please welcome Leah to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me today. I'm glad to be part of this conversation. And one of the things that I share, I run Creative Aging Network in North Carolina. And one of the things that I share with our teaching artists when we're doing training is that emotions are contagious. So one of the things I would like for you to do is just mirror my facial expressions. If we can just for a few seconds do that. So Okay, so that was really simple, really short, but it gets to our brains and what's going on in our brains. As human beings, we typically can empathize with others, and there are mirror neurons in our brains. And that's when, you know, our brain cells fire these neurons when we are actually engaging in those activities, but they also fire when we see someone else doing a certain activity or having a certain emotion. That's part of our empathy. And I think that, you know, encouraging these brain pathways is really important, but it's also really crucial, I think, for everyone to understand something that Mary, when you read earlier, people with dementia are full human beings. And as full human beings, people with dementia have a huge range of emotions. And there have been so many times that I've been in care communities where someone with dementia is upset, they're angry, or they're crying, and someone's saying, oh, don't cry, it'll be okay. Or, oh, they're having, you know, their behavior is just really disruptive. And it's incredibly frustrating. So one of our goals is to use the arts to help educate caregivers, professional and family caregivers, about how valuable it is for people to be their authentic selves and express the whole range of emotions as we do our whole entire lives. So this idea of, you know, keeping people with dementia just happy and calm is not a realistic expectation for anyone in life. So why should it be the expectation for people with dementia? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, Leah. Thanks so much for sharing such an important message about emotions and how relational we are as human beings. So thank you for that. I would now like to welcome Myrna Norman. You have the Zoom stage. Please welcome Myrna.
Hi there. I have a short poem I wrote. It's called I Am Not Afraid. I was not afraid until a bully showed his ignorance by attacking me. I was not afraid until my voice used a language unfamiliar to me. I was not afraid until my independence was substantially curtailed. I was not afraid until my tasks became too difficult to complete. I was not afraid until my presence was no longer requested. I was not afraid until going for a walk became wandering. I was not afraid until my short-term memory was gone. I was not afraid until trying to keep up in a conversation became too difficult. I was not afraid when I learned that my journey could be happy. I was not afraid when my journey had a few dips, but I was able to proceed. I was not afraid when advocating for people with dementia became my life's work. I am not afraid.
Love it, Myrna. I'm just going to, you're prompting me to add something to the chat bars. So please just give me 1 second because it's such an important message. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first duo. I would like to welcome Liza and Henry to the stage, otherwise known as Jennifer Carson and Wally Cox.
Thank you, Pia. Oh my goodness, Henry. Oh, hey, Henry, what's up?
Not much, I guess.
Oh gosh. Oh, Henry, why so glum today?
Well, I went to the doctor yesterday and she said I got a hole in my memory.
Oh, Henry. Oh my goodness. A hole?
Well, you see, Liza, there's a hole in my memory, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in my memory, dear Liza, a hole.
Then mend it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Then mend it, dear Henry. Mend it right now.
With what shall I mend it, dear Liza, dear Liza? With what shall I mend it, dear Liza? With what?
With the world all around you, dear Henry, dear Henry. The world all around you, get started right now.
The world is too big and it scares me, dear Liza. The world is too big to fill up my hole.
Choose the good parts, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. The good parts, dear Henry, will fill up that hole.
The good parts, dear Liza, dear Liza, dear Liza. The good parts, dear Liza. Just what do you mean?
With joy, love, and peace, dear Henry, dear Henry. With joy, love, and peace. Joy, love, and peace.
I filled it, dear Liza, dear Liza, dear Liza. I filled it, dear Liza. My mind is at ease. Thanks, Liza. That was good advice.
Awesome, Henry. Glad it worked.
See you later.
That was awesome. Thank you. Oh my goodness, look at all this talent we have. It's amazing. Okay, next up is Taylor Kurda. Welcome to the stage, Taylor.
Hi, everyone. So I decided to change some words to a very famous Bob Dylan song. Can you hear me? Okay, awesome.
No, I can't hear you.
No?
No, I can't.
Can everyone else hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll sing a little louder then. Okay.
Okay, we'll figure it out later.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that dementia is not what we've known. The old road is rapidly fading. Let's get rid of the stigma, create a new plan for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and artists, people who care, the medical models beyond our repair. Let's create a new way, a way that is fair. The old road is rapidly fading. Let's get rid of the stigma and become aware for the times they are a-changing.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor. And I have to say, Bob Dylan is a personal favorite, so that was really
Me too.
so super creative. Love it. Susan Massa, please take the stage. You're on mute.
That's it. Okay. Okay. I am Susanna. I am a member of the coalition because I would like to see a dementia without stigma, without tragedy, a dementia of joy and relationality and touching all our humanity. I am on Zoom, a favorite place to be with new friends and old. I am reimagining dementia for all people, all communities. I never have to hear this phrase when someone says, when imposing some restriction on a person who lives with dementia, well, they won't remember anyway. I am Susanna. I am quite happy.
Thanks, Susan. Love the I am poem. That's great. Okay, Casey Acklin, I think we might have another musical number.
Yeah, I actually, I was gonna do something, but I have a friend here today
okay.
who is interested in joining us. Is that all right with everybody? I'm hoping that's okay. So let me just go grab. I'll be right back here, just a second. I promise I won't take too long. All right, here he is. Hello, hello all. My name is the Inclusionator, and I have been watching you from afar. I am here to tell you about myself. My mission, my power is to gather people together, to listen to all voices, to build community. And I don't know if you know, but from one superhero, I am a superhero, and I can see in all of you that you are superheroes too. You are, you all are. And this reimagining dementia, this is the product of your collective superpower. And so I am here with an important mission that only us superheroes can achieve. What we must do is we must go forth into the world, into our communities, and we must show everybody around us, no matter who they are, that they are a superhero. And if we gather together, what we can do is we can achieve an inclusion revolution. Are you all with me? I need all of you. I need a show of force. Are you with me? All right, I'll be back, and I expect full radical inclusion. Goodbye.
Thank you, Casey. I wasn't sure if the inclusionist was in the house. But thank you, that was terrific. Okay, I wonder if, Nicolette, would you like to Ketchum, would you like to share an I Am poem with us?
I am Nicolette McDermott Ketchum. I'm a member of the coalition because I want to help make this a world where everyone feels included. I am Las Vegas, Nevada. I am passionate about affecting positive change. I am reimagining dementia by engaging with other community members in the setting of a memory cafe. I am Nicolette McDermott Ketchum. I am lucky to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolette. Well, we're lucky that you're here with us today. So thank you. Why don't we start with Paula? Paula Dirks, are you still with us? I know that you have a meeting to go to, but are you still?
Yes, I am. And actually my meeting's in an hour, not in 10 minutes. So.
Oh, okay, fantastic. And please do go ahead and share. Take the stage.
All right. Well, I'd like to introduce you or have you again repeat an activity called True for Me. And it's a way of getting a sense of how you have affinity with others in the crowd that is the Zoom, or how other people have different interests or experiences than you. So I would like to introduce the sticky Post-it, whatever you have that can cover your camera, your webcam, so that you can put it right over and then black out you until I explain what you do with this information. So we're going to cover the cameras to begin with. I will be the first person to contribute. And I'm just going to use a phrase that says, it's true for me that, and then I fill in the blank with whatever I want to fill in the blank with. So when I say something that you have affinity with, and it's true for you, then you uncover your camera and wave your fingers. And then I will pick the next person to say the same phrase, it's true for me that, and then you say whatever you want under the sun. And then of course, when people come back, you pick the next person and it keeps going like that. So we'll do that as many minutes as they allow us to do. So is everybody clear on how to play? Any questions? I can't see you all, but speak up, take yourself off mute if you have a question. Okay. All right, and if you don't have a Post-it, you can use your old-fashioned thumb or another piece of paper, but just start out with your cameras covered. And that it's more, it's prettier when you're using a Post-it because you see lots of different colors that people are using to cover their webcams. Okay, so it's true. I'll just give you some examples in case you're wondering what kind of examples work. It's true for me that I live in the USA. So uncover your screen if you live in the USA and then wiggle your hands. Hey, okay. In fact, it would be great. I'm going to put myself on gallery view so that I can see all of you. Okay. And I'm going to pick Kat Hartley. Everybody cover your cameras, and Kat, you say the phrase and add something to it.
It is true for me that I love sunshine.
Oof.
Okay, Kat, you choose the next person.
All right, I'll pick, let's see. I'm gonna find Susan.
Yeah.
Susan Basad.
Oh, okay. It is true for me that I like to eat cookies. I'm needing to see. Mike Bellevue.
It is true for me that after 5 years of not driving, of giving up my license because of my diagnosis, I actually just went and got my driver's license back again. I needed my independence back.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick my brother Wally.
It's true for me that my diagnosis was the beginning of a whole new chapter in my life. I'm picking Cella.
Awesome. Thank you, Wally. It is true for me that cannabis helps dementia. That's the thing I learned through our journey.
Susanna, okay. Susanna, if you want
It can be our closing out.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Well, I'm going to put myself back
You
on
want to
gallery,
say-
so I'm not.
Okay, I'm coming off soon.
I think Mary's just asked me to share some words. I'm over in the UK here, and I run an organisation called Living Words. We've been working with people with a dementia living in care homes and their carers and relatives impacted also since 2007. And we've just had a book out which is about the pandemic. And so I just, this is the first page. I'll just read this. It's the words of people with later stage dementia in nursing homes, carers working there, and also relatives. And maybe there's a section that is about systemic change as well. So I'll just read two pieces. Okay, this is the first page, and then someone else can just say a number and I'll read whatever's on that page. Okay, so this is a person with a later stage dementia about their feelings being in the care home and the pandemic. And the title is, Well, I Feel. It continues. Yeah. I haven't. I get tired quick. I feel lonely sometimes. Hellos when people come over, but they're not inside. They're outside. When you sort out what you want, I go for that. I feel it's hard. Wouldn't be if I could do more, see more, but all that stopped. Someone given me a number.
5.
Above 13. Anyone?
17.
There you go. 17 is in the. Okay. That's quite a long one, but I'll just read a little of it. I turn up and my dad wasn't even out of bed. I was really miffed. Taken time out of work, had to organise that, had to ask special permission. And I find that every time there's an email, it's all changed. You get yourself into the way of thinking, oh, good, I'll be seeing Dad. And then it changes. It's not straightforward. It's upsetting all round for the staff as well. They're really a great team of people. You just don't know what's the situation, what's going to happen. And then one more, which I think would be for the
Actually,
current.
Susanna, sorry, I'm gonna have to cut it.
Oh,
I'm realizing we're running late.
Second one,
Sorry.
which has to do with
Thank you.
change and how this in the pandemic, the issues that have it's just made everything so much worse that we know. So there you go.
Thank you,
Thank
Susanna.
you.
Yes.
Casey, we're about to unveil the word cloud that Kate Casey has just done a wonderful job in creating. Take it away, Casey.
Well, no worries, Mary. Thank you. And Des, perfect. I'm just going to share my screen here and bring up, while you were putting all of those words in the chat, I was typing them into a program that puts them into a word cloud. And the way that this word cloud works is words that are closer to the center were contributed more, and words that are bigger were contributed more. But everything is represented. So if you included something, it is there. And we'll be sending this out afterwards too. But I just wanted to show you what a beautiful creation we all have put together here.
Yes.
How absolutely inspiring this is. This is the product not only of those performances, but of everyone, this group's processing and digestion and reaction to those performances. We truly co-created this. And so I just want to thank you, right? I just want to thank you right here, right now for your contribution, because this would not be the same without every single one of those words, every single one of those reactions, without you being present here with us today. So thank you. And we'll be sending this out as well.
Great. Thank you. All right, now, Des, bring up group one.
This is truly in the spirit of improvisation because we have no plan, but we did have a beautiful conversation that I will try my best to summarize here in some salient points. Please contribute, be in motion or in words, however everybody would like to. But I think that one of our big questions was that if we can think of dementia as maybe a long tunnel that maybe is a little bit dark, how do we find that light? How do we bring in the light that we know exists? How do we get it in there? How do we do that? We do that by connecting, and we try to connect with others, and we try to create growthful space and to express ourselves, find modes of expression that connect with us. And in expressing, we broaden ourselves, we broaden our connections, we broaden that space, and we build capacity in ourselves and in our communities. And it's through that expression that we can connect. And it is that expression that is the light. It is ourselves. We are that light. It is about finding ourselves, finding that light, and being present with ourselves and being confident in our light.
Beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful. All right, then. That's a lovely way to begin. So let us bring up the second group or the next group.
Okay, yeah, we'll start. I'm going to read a poem that people thought encapsulated a lot, and then Bernie's also going to speak about inclusivity. The poem. Mary Fridley and Susan Massett coming to California to lead a workshop called The Joy of Dementia. You've got to be kidding. Thank God they said you've got to be kidding. No one will respond to the joy of dementia. I was so wrong. I'm afraid of growing older, even though I am. Everything is negative until it's not. Losing some memory was seen as a problem. Now it seems more like a stage of life. No, no, no. Let's break out of the tragedy narrative and build with everything that comes our way. Sadness, fear, loneliness, illness, joy, aliveness, wonder, connectedness. Can we play with the tragedy so it transforms into energy? Depression is the opposite of play, and play is the opposite of depression. Let's breathe. Let's connect. Let's wonder together. Let's create something new out of what is. The joy of dementia. No, we're not kidding. Bernie.
And just to add to that wonderful poem is just a feeling of another connectedness. And what I'm thinking about is inclusive, those that people of dementia of, we call them in the UK, the ethnic minorities, and I'm thinking about where are they? Are they included in all of these talks that we go on with? How do we include them? How do we empower these people so that they will be with us on this Zoom screen right here? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie. We did have a very interesting discussion about genuine inclusion, which of course is at the core of this coalition, and how we can actively solicit and facilitate contributions from people living with dementia and others in the community, from marginalized communities. So I think it was an important discussion, and we know that there are folks, members of the coalition, who are doing this work. So I think that this is an important opportunity to make these connections. So thank you, Bernie, and thank you, Helen.
Thank
you all. Bravo.
Thank you all.
Bravo. All righty, let us move on to next group up.
Okay. I'm going to read a poem called One Black Nail. It's a statement. Black nail polish is. An attempt kept not inside to oneself, but out front for all to view. A blatant show not to be denied. See me? Don't dare not. So why not use our voice? Are we tongue-tied to explain personal preferences, position, political stance, health? Fearful of being disqualified from outside acceptance? Rather, better to be quietly left. Rather, better to quietly let a boisterous black nail say without saying, see me, I am of value.
And you notice the one without the black nail is defying labeling, being labeled.
That's great.
Okay.
Needs no color. That is
great. Thank you. Anyone else? Or that was a wonderful performance. All righty, next group up. Thank you all so much. Wally.
Oh. Oh.
All right, take it away.
Group 4.
We're talking about the yin and yang of dementia. My
Discovery.
yin is I learned to love again the world all around me.
My yin is meeting the most wonderful people and learning from them, of people living with dementia, people living with people with dementia, and people who care passionately about people living with dementia. Paula?
I didn't know what order we were in. Well, I guess I'm approaching it from reimagining dementia. I imagine that every person I encounter that might have some dementia or memory problems, they're like my own parents, and I want them to be treated with love and respect.
Nefeli?
My yin of dementia is appreciating the gifts of letting go of hurts and anger and living fully in the present.
Mike?
My yin of dementia is I learned, fortunately, early on that life does not end at the time of diagnosis, and that we all, those of us living with dementia, still have a voice that needs to be respected and heard and included.
Kate?
My yin is, this is my care partner, John.
Oh.
I'm care partner too. And we are out and proud. We're out and proud dissolving shame, and discovering new sides of ourselves and new people, like here today.
2 more. Okay, then let's bring up the next group.
Okay, should we go? I think we might be.
Who is
There we
she?
go.
There she comes. Hey,
Right.
off we go.
Now,
So we created a haiku where we are all in alignment. So here we go. For people who don't really remember how haikus go, it's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and usually is a passage of time or nature. So here we go. Reimagining dementia through policy. Utilize the arts.
Spicy. All righty, last but not least, let's bring up our final group.
All right. So my group, it was myself, Sherry, Sean, Myrna, and Pat, who had to zoom off for another Zoom. This is not a haiku. This will be a stream of consciousness that our group created together. This is our group's poem, How We Are Reimagining Dementia. Open minds, learning from each other, sunshine in a dark space, remembering yesterday and caring today, revisiting parts of our life, supporting people living with dementia, and zooming, improvising and reperforming life. Nana helps her grandchildren understand her experience. Nothing about us without us. Human rights and well-being central to all that we do, bringing people together, small steps to enormous changes.
Right on.
Excellent.
Very good.
All righty. Thank you all very much. Okay.
Beautiful.
So we're gonna start to wrap things up with, we have a special, Casey, are you still here? Are you ready to, there's been a request that you reprise your song. Are you open to doing that? Feel free to say no if you can't.
Sure. If you'd like me to, I certainly can.
Yeah,
I'm planning on it.
I'm a bit of a groupie, and so this is a personal request. If you could play your song, I just think it's so fabulous.
Yeah, I can. I don't know if I've memorized the lyrics, but I can bring it up here in hopefully a short amount of time. There we go, right there. All right, so I was inspired by Taylor's idea of putting new words to a classic song. So I have to give her credit for that. And also other folks on this, on Reimagining Dementia. So here we go.
About 15 years ago, I can still remember how my grandpa thought his life was through. And I'm sure if we had known more, if we were willing to explore, then my grandpa wouldn't have felt so taboo. But stigma is a vicious beast that sinks its teeth and won't release. My grandpa died in sorrow. He wished not for tomorrow. I now spend every waking day working toward communities that say that no more lives will fade away. Inclusion's here to stay. So bye-bye to the tragedy lie. People living with dementia don't just shrivel and die. They grow and thrive, and so we must clarify that all people are equally alive.
Thank you, Kate.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
So just to close out, and then we'll kind of, we'll go into our ending ritual. I'm always inspired, but I was thinking a little bit about what Pia was saying about genuine inclusion. And I think one of the things that I believe, and I think we are, working with this as well within the coalition, is part of it is going to people where they are, in addition to inviting them to join us. So that's one of the things that I want to be working, and we want to be working with all of you over the next many months on how we can come to you and the people in your lives. And that could be two people, that could be a university, that could be a community. It's not, there's no prescription, but I do think we've got to kind of find that balance and really reach the folks who, again, whatever their creativity is, are able to express it and reignite it in whatever ways that looks like. So thank you all so much. This was wonderful. As always, it's great to see you. And as always, since we've been sitting, and we'll, give you a chance to get your dance moves on. So Des, take it away.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news.
And as you leave, please have a wonderful weekend, and stay safe, stay creative.
Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time.